Hello and welcome to Talking Rasslin with Pondwater Dave. We hope you had a fantastic holiday season and we are back, the three of us back together. My name is Justin Davis. As always, I'm joined by the First Lady of the Art Anderson Fan Club, Miss Amy Vaughn, and the man who counted Ric Flair's last match, Mr. Pondwater Dave Miller. What's up,
Hey.
everybody? How was the Christmas and New Year holiday?
Really good, really good. We had our Mississippi Christmas this past weekend, so
What does
we're
a Mississippi Christmas consist of?
I got some guesses.
well, it's just here in Mississippi with Stephanie's mom, dad, and kids and grandkids.
Okay.
Our Mississippi contingent, and then we went to Texas a few weeks ago. So
For the Texas contingency.
and we had to go have the Texas Christmas.
hmm
So
I
anyway,
hate I missed last week because of course I sent the video clips in, but it's not the same as not being there because there were. But you all seem like y'all had a lot of good discussion, and it seemed like most people enjoyed the movie.
it's a well received. It's been a well received episode. But because of we had Iron Claw month, and let's face it, it's not. I mean, other than Kevin, it's really not a happy story.
Mm.
And so tonight, well, our guest is having difficulty connecting.
Uh-oh.
But then we've decided tonight we'll lighten the mood and we're going to bring it back around to comedy.
Heck yeah. We got a great one.
We like comedy. Speaking of comedy, did y'all make New Year's resolutions this year?
I don't make a resolution, but I am one of those that like picks a word of the year. Do y'all do something like that?
Well, my resolution is not to use a certain word.
Yes, I saw that. I saw you failed miserably.
I did. Alabama's defense got me. F-bombs started flying. Actually, it was just one, and it was a slip. I've done pretty good. I think I've used 3.
That's good. That's good.
It's a miracle after the way my day started yesterday.
I bet. I bet. Justin, what about you?
I don't really have any. I should have like 2 handfuls, but I don't.
Too hateful.
What's your word that you're going to use this year? Tell us how that works.
All right. So, um, what I do is I just think about like what do I want in the year upcoming. And so last year my word was peace because I feel like I just was there was just a lot of things that were unstable maybe, and like I did not have a lot of peace within. And so that was one of the things that I really focused on. And so this year is action. And so like I can be a procrastinator, and so I want to focus on doing things, not just thinking about it, but doing it, putting it into action. So that's my word. It's a lot easier to kind of, for me, or I find it has been um, more helpful to have a word than I'm going to, whatever, stop eating sugar or exercise more, whatever, um, to help kind of stay on track. So
She's
Well,
going
my
to put
word,
it into action by having Sean do some stuff around the house and fix some stuff up.
that's right. I'm going to
I
stop
think it's a
hee-hawing
great
around.
idea, and I'll adopt that. My word this year will be peace.
Yes.
Peace, swinging peace, looking for a piece.
Lord.
No? How
That's
about
not,
legs?
you
How
know
about
what?
legs? Legs
That,
is the word. Everybody spread the word.
She's got legs.
spread the word. Um, you
Laura
know
Young
what?
says action is
It's
a
your
good one,
word.
Amy.
It's your word. So, you know, Lord,
This is how we're starting off 2024.
I know. I know. I don't even know who won. Okay, so obviously I know Alabama lost, but who won the second game? I had to go to bed.
Washington.
Washington.
Washington. What was the score? Was it close
It
or
was close.
was it? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, no, none of the good teams got 60 hung on them.
Washington kind of screwed up and
You were
and
terrible.
gave Texas a chance to win toward the end of it.
Okay.
But they did win.
I just, like I said, I was just curious. I did not, I just, uh, was tired and I had to go to bed because I started work today. Justin, did you have to go back to work today?
That is tomorrow.
Oh man, I don't know who thought
Yeah,
it was a good idea to go back the day after New Year's. We did. We did.
I barely made it to New Year's Eve Sunday night. I think I made it to about the ball dropping. That was about the end of me.
You did get to see the ball drop though?
Yeah, it seems like there might be some of that in the memory. I don't know.
If you've
I
seen
saw.
one, you've seen them all, right?
I
Yeah.
think I made it to about. I think on New Year's Eve we made it to about 10 o'clock. We watched Stars game, went to bed.
I saw
That
you
that,
watching.
that
I saw you in your jersey.
yeah.
That's not a jersey. That's my onesie.
Oh, is
And
it a onesie?
Yes.
Oh, you were sitting down. I didn't know what had happened to you. I thought you
oh
a
God,
big
I'm getting a
trip
call
you
from
sent.
someone from Cleveland. That's a hell no. I don't talk to people from Cleveland.
Why
I'm.
not?
I think our
Uh,
guest is having a problem. He's having a problem connecting at the moment. So
Okay.
um,
What what
you
else do
know
we
why
want to talk
Dave
about?
had to go to bed early is because he's been trying to keep up with this new puppy in there,
Oh
oh
my
my gosh.
gosh,
wearing him
where
out.
is he? Can you show him to us?
Well, he's we got him in a kennel in the other room,
He's
so we don't
locked
have
up
to.
where he belongs.
That's
And he's
right.
very photogenic, and so he's got some
Oh,
great.
he's got a heck of a personality,
I can
and
only
it's
imagine.
he's about this big, and it's hard to believe that something that little can crap so much.
That's what Teppy says about Dave.
Oh, oh, he made an appearance last week. Oh, that's okay. I
Well,
see plenty of photos. I'm going to get to hold him one
Before the end
day.
of the night, we might have a puppy run in.
Yes, he is the cutest
His
thing.
name is Bucky because the lady that we got him from delivered him to us, and we met at Bucky's. But we
well,
don't spell it Bucky, Buccee, like the store that we were at. We
right.
spell it like Bucky, like Captain America's sidekick.
So let me ask you all who, and you all in the chat can answer too while we're waiting on Derek. So who is it? It's Michigan versus Washington.
Yeah.
Yes,
Who do you think's going to win?
Michigan.
I think it's going to be a better game than people think. Washington's offense is pretty good. So
I need Michigan to win, so when all the crap hits the fan about the cheating and they take it away from them, it'll be. Hey, and I'm not making excuses. They played better. They played better football game than Alabama. Alabama
the,
doesn't have anything to be ashamed of, and Texas doesn't either. And you won't hardly ever hear me say anything good about the University of Texas.
no, they were both good games. Being born and bred in the great state of Ohio, I will be rooting gladly for the Washington Huskies, whatever they are up there.
Well, good. Okay. So, and that's Saturday, right? Is that game Saturday?
I
The
think it's
final,
Monday.
whatever.
It's
Oh,
usually
Monday.
Monday
It's only
night.
Monday
Yeah.
night.
Oh, okay. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I fell asleep halfway. Heard something about the game. So, well, cool.
I mean, I felt pretty low when it was over, but I wasn't throwing a big fit about it. Roll Tide. I mean, they were there. It was a competitive game. It went to overtime.
Yeah,
What more
and
can you ask for?
I tell you what, I felt so. This is the mom in me, the little the little Michigan guy who like they kicked up or they punted it and he dropped and he missed it at the very end and they almost got a safety. Do y'all know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about? I felt so bad for that little kid. Like
Oh, I didn't. Not even a little bit.
oh my God, I did. I
I
would have
felt bad
just
that it wasn't a safety.
oh, but I just felt so like you can imagine what that would have been like the biggest game of your life. And I mean, there was nobody around him. Like he just looked in the sky or whatever, and it just he just dropped it. I was like, oh Lord. Now I would have felt really bad if they would have won. If they would have got a safety and won, and that's what happened. Like that's not how you want to. I don't think so anyway.
And for more college football talk, check out Terry and Andrew's show over there.
Heck yeah, they know what they're talking about. I'm just rambling. I
Yeah.
have no idea. Throwing some stuff out, and hopefully y'all can make sense of it. But yes, they have the top 10 with TNA top 10, They'll be dropping this week, I bet.
It'd be interesting. I'd like to hear this one.
Yeah, be interesting to see. I can guarantee Andrew has nothing to say about it.
What did we think about the return of The Rock last night?
Man, I popped for it. I saw it coming. I 100% saw it coming because when spoiler alert if you didn't watch Raw, when they said that they had a former champion coming back and it was Jinder Mahal, it was designed to be
get
underwhelming,
to get
which
a
was a
crap
rib,
pop.
which was
Yeah.
a rib at Tony Khan's underwhelming announcements. I'm sure. And I'm like, but he was doing a good promo. Now it was Muhammad Hassan's promo. I mean, that was that bit.
Mm-hmm.
It was that whole bit. Muhammad, words are hard. Muhammad Hassan, that whole get, but he just kept on bashing the USA, and I knew because I saw The Rock with Nick Khan at the Rose Bowl, so
Yeah.
I knew he was in town. But when I popped for it, and I thought the whole thing was good, and when he started, should I get in a booth? Then he said, or should I sit at the bar? And I'm like, oh. And then when he said, or should I sit at the head of the table? I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was really good. But I suspect that it might be The Rock and Roman in Australia
Oh, yeah.
instead of WrestleMania. I mean, I'm for Rock and Roman at WrestleMania, but
You got that Cody hanging out there. I mean, you got the Cody story.
hey, his story his story may end one of these days, but maybe it was written by J.R. Martin.
Well, I'm just like, I think WrestleMania, and I think we have a few people in the chat. I know Allison Faye's going. Coach Keith, are you going to WrestleMania? You're in that area.
Yeah, I think he is.
Oh,
I
of
think.
course.
Yes.
And it's going to be a really good. I mean, there's lots of good potential matchups all the way around. I mean, I think Seth Rollins and CM Punk, right? That has to happen. And then you've got Cody, and you have the belts, and you have The Rock, and it's going to be pretty interesting, I think.
I thought it was good. I thought Raw was pretty good last night.
Mhm.
I also thought I turned it over just in time to see Giovanni take a. I mean, he hit his head pretty good. I'm sure he got concussed, but I mean, they
Stopping
jumped in
the
there.
match.
They jumped in there and they stopped the match. The winners were by referee stoppage.
Mhm.
So, kudos to the referee for being on top of it, and WWE for doing the right thing and stopping the match. And we're hoping that nothing but well wishes for Giovanni that he's okay.
Right.
But-
Coach
but,
Keith, yes, it is in your backyard. You need to go. Like, that's a definite. Just to say you did. Just go down. You don't actually have to go to WrestleMania, but go to everything else that's going to be happening. Watch WrestleMania from your home.
Well, our guest is back. Oh, here he is. Let's bring him in. He's driving, so we don't know if we're going to get camera or not. Derik, can you hear us? Joining us now is actor, comedian, and part-time
Yeah, I can hear
wrestling
you guys.
booker.
What's up?
Hey,
Oh.
Derik.
Glad to have you. Everybody, welcome to the show. Actor, comedian, and part-time wrestling booker, Derik Zoo. Derik,
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm so sorry I'm late.
that's okay. We were talking a little college football. I was just about to show everybody my
Yeah.
wiener.
You know what? That's what I was afraid of. I was
That's-
like, it gets to 8:18. Dave's showing his wing. I got to get on the call.
Exactly.
Well, I got a miniature dachshund, so
It's so cute.
and so's the puppy. So, Derik, tell us. I knew that you were a comedian and actor, but I just happened to find out that you're a wrestling booker.
I don't know if I would go so far as booker, as more just like performer on the show. they gave me the title of AWF matchmaker, and really all I am, man, is I'm doing the control centers, trying to run down the cards for the shows, and then here in the next, I mean, I'll spoil it because I like you guys, but I'll be actually being at the shows starting next month. So I'll be more of like the kind of like the Mean Gene Okerlund, Nick Aldis
Oh.
hybrid. That's what I like.
Now, where is this going to be, Derik? Where is that going to be at, Derik?
It's AWF.
What is that? Appalachia?
No, it's
What is it? American
American Wrestling
Federation?
Federation.
Yeah, it's the American Wrestling Federation in Ringgold, Georgia. It's Dave, it's Nature Boy Paul Lee's joint.
Okay, I'm familiar.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So how far is that from? So for you all that don't know, Derik, as he mentioned, was a performer in Gatlinburg, correct?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
And can you tell us a little bit more about what you do there in Gatlinburg? I bet some of you all have seen him and you didn't even know it.
Yeah. So I'm one of the master of ceremonies and comedians at Dolly Parton Stampede. And essentially what that means is I dress up like a fancy Garth Brooks and I sit on a horse and I sing songs. Yeah. Yeah. Eat your heart out, Hulk Hogan. Yeah.
That's talent. You got to ride a horse.
That kind of looks like the Sting jacket from back in the day.
Hey, so you know what's funny? What's funny about that is, Justin, Billy Corgan and Dave Lagana came to the show one time, and Lagana was like, "Dude, you look like Sting from 1990, Great American."
Yeah.
I was like, that's the coolest compliment anyone's ever given me. So thank you.
I've been to that show before, and I guess I can describe it. It's kind of along the same concept as Medieval Times, except the food's much better, and so's the entertainment.
Well, yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, but they make you eat with your hands. That's not very. I don't like. That's the only thing I didn't like about it.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Really?
Let me bust that myth. We have forks now, so
that is good.
Yeah.
I mean, the food you get is food that can be eaten with your hands, but I don't know. I mean, corn on the cob, chicken. I mean, but
what's your hate with eating with your hands, Amy?
I just, well, I don't know.
You're bougie, just bougie. She's so bougie. She's so bougie. It's going to be a new shirt at jumpinthepond.com.
Queen of Kentucky. She must be treated like royalty. She eats with gloves on.
Kentucky bougie. That's the shirt.
Kentucky bougie.
You're the reason we have forks now, Amy.
Apparently, I complained enough.
She can Karen, and she probably did.
If need be.
They told me specifically. They said there's this lady in outside of Paducah, Kentucky. She just kept writing in stuff the whole time, and we finally had to give in.
That's right. I couldn't even enjoy the show. Like, where the hell's my fork? What is going on here? But it's a great show. Oh, look at you.
Yeah. That's the other character I play. That gentleman right there. His name is Skeeter, and in that variation of him, he is hunting reindeer.
I see it. So how long? Because you were also doing this in Branson, correct? Where you were at the Dixie Stampede in Branson. So how long collectively have you been playing a character for the Stampede performance show?
I've been with the company now for 6 years. I got hired in. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, and I know you all, because we tried to book you earlier, and with the holidays, you're like, I'll see y'all next year, because I know you all are super busy. How many shows do you do in a week, or a week, like a Sunday through Saturday in the holidays?
Okay, so this day we did 4 shows on the 26th, and then we did 5 shows from the 27th until the 30th. New Year's Eve, we did 4 shows, and now it's starting to slow down.
4 show. What do you do? Like you work out to keep up? I mean, that's a lot
Yeah,
of
it's
shows.
crazy. I mean, on a 5-show day, you go in at 9:30 in the morning, and you won't leave until about 11 o'clock that night.
Wow.
Did you say you sing?
Yes, ma'am.
So have you ever lost your voice?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So what do you do?
You just keep
Mouth
going.
it?
You squawk, and you hope that people understand what's going on.
Are these songs like? Do you put comedy lyrics in them? Or
Luckily, it doesn't happen often, but there's been a couple times where I've just been really sick, and that's one of the things that happens is you lose your voice, and you go, well, we just got to keep going. So that's what we do.
So they just throw your ass up on the horse and say, "Go, just go."
Yeah. They're like, hey, there's 1,100 people out there. Squawk. Maybe
That's
they'll
right.
maybe they'll feel sorry for you.
So how did you get the gig at AWF?
AWF.
Thank
At
you.
the
How did you
AWF?
get that gig?
I've been off and on. I've been working with the Lee family off and on since about 2008. I actually started there as a manager. You guys will get a kick out of this. My manager name was JJ Dillon the Fourth. And
Did you manage Polly? Tell me you managed Polly.
that was the plan. That was the plan. We were going to put together a little stable. I was trying to find talent, and Paul was eventually going to be the guy that was going to manage. But I was also working at another dinner theater in Chattanooga, Tennessee at the time, and so unfortunately I had to pick between one or the other. So I had to go with the one that I was getting paid more than a hot dog and a handshake for.
Yeah. Sometimes we have to have a shoot job to pay for our wrestling hobby.
That's the truth, man. And so then I've kind of been working with them off and on since then. They do a big show every May called Wrestle Jam, and they'll bring in like bigger names. So they've had Flair there, they've had Arn there, Amy.
Arn.
They had
My tracker didn't go off. My Arn tracker didn't let me know that. No.
Yeah, we hid the Google alert from you.
That's
Said,
probably
watch
true.
out. Yeah. They Hall and Nash have been there. Ryback, Paul Orndorff. Matter of fact, Dave, you'll get a kick out of this. I got to induct Paul Orndorff into their Hall of Fame, and while we're on stage giving him his ring, Vader walked out, and like I had to stand in between Paul Orndorff and Vader, thinking like I didn't know what was going to happen, and then Vader wound up being really nice and complimentary to him, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, were you thinking?
Paul Orndorff is such a wonderful man. Me and Tep got to have dinner with him one night, and he was so charming, and he was so cool to Teppy, and I mean he was just the nicest man. We just visited and had a good time, and same for Vader. I was real nervous when I met Vader.
Yeah,
me too.
I didn't know what to
waited on him.
expect. And he was laughing and cutting up, and he insisted that I put that helmet on.
Ugh.
It did not stink.
Oh.
It did
Did it
not
not?
stink. No, it was the coolest thing.
Is that
I don't know if I've ever been more nervous waiting on someone. Like if I bring out a cold steak to Vader, like is he gonna powerbomb me through this table right here?
Where
or how
did
is
you
it?
wait on him?
When I was in college, he came in to where I worked.
Really? Did you
Yeah.
did you ask his auto? Did you act like you knew who he was, or were you just?
I mean, I
strictly-
shook his hand and said, nice to meet you, Mr. Vader, or Mr. Man they call. I don't know what to call you.
Mr. Vader,
Is it-
sir.
Isn't that so weird when I know Conrad's got the story where he talks about like meeting the Undertaker for the first time, and he's like, "How you doing, Mr. Undertaker, sir?" But it really is kind of weird when you meet these people, because like those are the names you know them by, and
Right.
you're like, "Do I call you Ryback or do I call you?"
Yeah, you sure as hell ain't gonna break out. Hey, Mark.
Yeah,
You're not gonna
exactly.
break out real names. Be like,
Yeah.
Undertaker, sir. Can I?
I
Help
go
you?"
with sir. I just go with sir.
That's probably the smartest thing to do, honestly. You guys will get a kick out of this. So I was at I have an apartment in Jefferson City, which is about 45 minutes outside of Pigeon Forge. And I was working out the other day and was legitimately I was listening to the Armageddon 2003 episode of Something to Wrestle. And it got to the part where they're talking about like Goldberg and Triple H and Kane. And I'm on the treadmill and I'm kind of zoned out. So it's early in the morning. It's like 7:30. And I'm on the treadmill, just kind of zoned out. And I lock eyes with this massive dude. And I kind of look at him for a second. And then it dawns on me that it's Glenn Jacobs. And so I legitimately let out a, "Oh my God." And he noticed it. And so then he started laughing. And I was just like, "Hey, man, big fan. Enjoy your workout." And he just kind of waved it.
Off the back of the treadmill. That's what. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, he actually set my treadmill on fire. It was the weirdest thing that's ever happened.
I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, but we have a live chat that goes during our broadcast, Derek. And there's more women in it tonight than there normally are.
Yes.
Lauren, we have Lauren Young, Allison Faye, Megan Nelson.
There was a Whitley.
Heather Whitley.
Heather Whitley.
I'm sorry.
Yep. Hey, all the girls follow Derek.
I'm just wondering all of a sudden.
Well, look at them.
I think they're
right.
I'm not saying that it's Derik Zoo, but I mean they've never been here before when Derek wasn't.
And I'm glad the camera's not on me. I'm completely red at the moment. Just embarrassed.
Why?
That's very flattering. That's very flattering.
Why are you red?
We appreciate you guys joining us too. We're not just Willie Buck's here, Jason Souls. Happy New Year to you too, my friend. Terry Weaver, who was on the show last week, now he's back in the
T-Weave.
Andrew Hermes, Coach Keith Morrison. Everybody, thank y'all so much for joining us tonight.
Hey, Dave, I've been in the car most of the day, and I was listening to your recap on the Iron Claw from last week, and really enjoyed it. Thought you guys nailed everything. Man, I really enjoyed that movie, but I'll be honest with you, the whole time I was watching it, I was like, man, I bet Dave is pissed off about some of this stuff.
Yeah, I did. That's what I thought too when I watched it.
I tried not to go into it. I tried to go into it with an open mind, and Conrad had even told me, hey Dave, don't get bent. I mean, and Kevin himself had even said, just it's not a biography. It's movie. It's entertainment. So,
right.
But thank you for saying that. We had a good time. We've talked. We had Iron Claw month, and I'm really enjoying seeing the Von Erichs getting their flowers the way they're getting them. I mean, Kevin's on tour. Ross and Marshall are in tow. They've been on AEW. They've been on Ring of Honor. They were on Chris Jericho's podcast, and they said that the boys said that their favorite match that they've ever had is against the Briscoes at Ric Flair's last match.
Oh, did they mention that also?
No,
that was
the referee had nothing to do with it.
Oh man,
They were like the real reason is because that handsome referee we have.
I didn't screw it up.
That's right. I know.
A walking magnet of charisma.
He is charisma all over the place. Look at that pond water. Andrew has a different idea.
So Derek, tell us. I know, did you just win all the awards in Branson, and decide to move to Pigeon Forge and conquer new challenges?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I said I won this award too many times, so now I've got to go try something else. No,
all I'm hearing is he's over with the blue hairs in Branson.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. He ran out of some blue hairs in Branson, so he went over to Pigeon Forge.
He wants to see how
now we're in Pigeon Forge. Now we're in Pigeon Forge with moonshine.
I think he's from that area too, though. I'm
know.
Sure I'm coming home. I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Now I get them real drunk, and they think I'm even cuter. So it's just the best. It's the best of both.
There you go.
No, it's man, like Amy said, I'm actually from a little town in Tennessee called Sparta, Tennessee, which is about 2 hours away from Pigeon Forge. And all my family now, they live in Nashville. They've been in Nashville the majority of my life. So it's just good to be home, man. You know, I when I auditioned for the Stampede, I thought that it was in Pigeon Forge. And so when they asked me, they're like, "Yeah, we'd love to have you. When can you start?" And I was like, "I'll start tomorrow." Like I didn't think it would be a big deal. And then lo and behold, they told me, "Well, we can't wait to have you in Branson." And I said, "What's that? What's in Branson?" And because I had no idea that there was a Stampede out there. So I moved out there at the start of 2018 and was out there until May of this year, and it was just time to come home. And luckily, it worked out to where I could transfer to this one, and it's been good, man. It's been tiring. We're doing all these shows, like Amy said earlier, but it's good to be home. I got to actually spend Christmas with my family for the first time in 5 years this year. So, yeah, it's been great, and I love my time in Branson. I love the people of Branson. It was a lot of fun. Yakov Smirnoff and I have a feud now. That's a shoot, but that's okay. But besides that, yeah, man, things are good, and I'm waiting very patiently for all of you guys to come see me at the state meet.
We're ready. Well, I love that part of the country. We were just talking about it. We were just talking about it over Christmas with the kids that we needed to get back up there.
And I need a new Dolly Parton beer boot. I used to have one, and then I lost it. So I got to get me one of those Dolly World beer boots on.
I know that you're an actor, but you're an actor and a stand-up comedian. Which one came first? Is there one you prefer more than the other, because I know that you were in a movie in 2015.
Yeah. I'm actually this isn't the announcement that I was going to make tonight, but I'm actually just was cast in a movie that we'll be shooting this year. So.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So
What's
I'm pretty
it?
excited about that.
Could you give us any info about it, or like what's it about, or who are you playing?
You're coming in real faint. Are you
Am
are you
Are
away
you
from
on-
your microphone?
I think you're on your speaker. Are you on your speakerphone?
I am on my speakerphone.
Because you're trying to fix something to eat?
No.
Oh, you're not in the bathroom, are you?
No, ma'am. I'm not in the bathroom. I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
No.
I mean-
How is it better now?
A little bit.
Okay. Let's see here. I will get the phone as close to my mouth as possible. The movie that I'm in is called Giving Up the Ghost. It's actually a horror movie.
Oh.
And yeah, it's being shot in the Nashville area, and we're pretty excited about that. And I should be able to tell more about that later on this year.
Cool.
That's really about all I can tell right now. But very excited about it. Really good group of people that I'll be working with, and yeah, real excited about that. But anyway, Dave, back to your original question. I started acting first. I was at this little dinner theater in Chattanooga, Tennessee called the Vaudeville Cafe. It was a murder mystery dinner theater. And I started there in 2007. And then started doing stand-up at Vaudeville in 2011. As far as which one I like more, man, it's a toss-up. I love stand-up. I think that stand-up comedy and pro wrestling are very similar in that, like, you're looking for the connection, Like, it's not as much, like, you'll hear wrestlers talk about, like, it ain't about the moves, it's about the moments, right? And I think it's the same thing with stand-up comedy. Like, obviously you got to be funny, you got to have jokes, but I think that if you make that connection with the audience and have them fall in love with you, it makes your job so much easier. To where you can, not every joke has to be a home run, if that makes sense. And then with acting, man, it's being in movies and performing that's been the dream. That's what I always wanted to do. So it's I really can't tell you which one I like more. I just want to keep doing both forever.
I'm really bummed. I had tickets to see Derek in Bowling Green, and I came down with COVID the first time I got it.
I'm back in Bowling Green at the end of this month.
End of January?
Yes, ma'am.
Ooh. You gotta let me know. I want to come see because, like I said, Sean and I were gonna go, and then like I said, I ended up tested positive with COVID and was sick, and I gave my tickets to my cousin who lives in Bowling Green. But yeah, oh, that's awesome! I can't wait. So, when do you have time to do if you're doing all these shows at Branson or not Branson? If you're doing all these shows at the Stampede and you're in a movie and you're doing comedy, like how are you on a tour right now for comedy? Or are you just doing shows when you got time?
Yeah, so the Stampede is seasonal, and our actual last day for the 2023 season is going to be this Saturday.
Oh.
And then in Branson, they take a little bit longer off because Branson just shuts down through January and February. Like people are still there, but like there's nothing going on. And so the Stampede out there isn't going to start back up until the end of February, but in Pigeon Forge, we start back up around the middle of February. So I'll have the next month off, and that's actually one of the things that I was going to announce on your show is that I'm going to be doing a small little tour called the Derik Zoo Unemployment Tour. And
what?
The Derik Zoo Unemployment Tour.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're kicking that off here in Sparta on January the 20th, and then I'll be in Bowling Green on the 27th. And then the big thing that I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about, this is a Pond Water exclusive. I will be filming my first comedy special in Dayton, Ohio on February the 2nd and 3rd at Wiley's Comedy Joint in Dayton.
That is awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, guys. Yeah.
A comedy special, and you're going to film it in Dayton, Ohio.
Yes, sir.
That is so awesome. I'm so happy for you.
That is. When will it be released? Where is it? Where can we see it?
We're hoping to get it released towards the fall. That's the plan. It'll go on YouTube, maybe Amazon, and a couple other different places. But we'll, as it gets closer to the release date, I will definitely, make sure that everybody knows more about that. So, but yeah, I'm really excited about it. This tour's going to be fun. I'm going to try to add some more dates to it in the meantime. But yeah, those are the two big announcements, man. The Derik Zoo Unemployment Tour is starting up on January the 20th, and then February the 2nd and 3rd, I will be filming the comedy special. So if you're in the Tennessee, Kentucky, or Ohio area, come see me while I'm out, because we'd love to see everybody.
I'm definitely going to look at my schedule because, like I said, I missed it the last time. I'd like to see it this time.
Yeah, and there should be I'm hoping to have promotional posters and flyers and all that good stuff out by the end of the week for all three of the shows and for the tour itself. So just keep up with all my social media stuff, and you should be the first to know what's going on.
Derek, what's the correct way to pronounce your last name?
Jones. Zuashkiani is the right pronunciation.
Zuashkiani?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, Zuashkiani.
Well, yeah, because his father's Iranian,
yep,
and his mother's a sweet Southern lady.
That's right. Yes, she sure was.
And I heard your stand up from the Improv, and you were talking about him.
Yeah.
How does a man from Iran end up in Tennessee?
He came over
during the 80s when the Shah of Iran, all that stuff was going on. And he was looking for the American dream, right? Better life for himself and his family, and somehow wound up in the booming metropolis of Cookeville, Tennessee. I'm not real sure how it happened. But he came over here and started going to school at Tennessee Tech, which is a big engineering school. You know how Muslims love trains, so it worked out for him real well. And then then he met my mom. My mom wanted to be a model, and so then she wound up being and she wound up taking a job that most of us take in entertainment. She was a server, and they met, fell in love, and 9 months later, my dad got the greatest gift he's ever had his entire life. He got his green card. A couple years later, they had me, so it worked out for him real well.
You're ornery. So, as you know, Derik, this is a wrestling podcast mainly.
Yes.
So, tell us about your wrestling fandom. Who is your favorite of all time? Do you do impressions of them? I'm curious.
I've got a pretty good Stone Cold Steve Austin. I've broken that out on stage before.
Really?
Yeah. I used to do this bit where I would be like, I'm a world famous impressionist. Somebody throw out a name, and I'll do an impression of them, and it'll be the greatest thing you've ever seen. And people would be like, Barack Obama. And I'd be like, all right, here's Barack Obama done by Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'd be like, bottom line is, we won't change. What? I said we won't change. That was pretty much.
I like it.
Yeah. As far as like my favorite wrestler of all time, that would be Shawn Michaels.
That's solid.
Yeah. Shawn. Well, I started watching wrestling in 1992. I'll never forget the day, the time, everything that happened. I was flipping through the channels, and it stopped. It was in the middle of July, 1992. And we flipped through the channels and stopped. And Randy Savage and the Ultimate Warrior were doing a back and forth promo, getting ready for their SummerSlam 92 match. And I was like, what is this? Why have I never seen it before? This is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And so then Randy Savage was my guy for the longest time. And then Shawn came along, and I thought he was the coolest thing in the world.
Think about that, though. You're flipping the channels and you find wrestling, and you're seeing a promo between, the Macho Man and the crazy ass Ultimate Warrior, and you're like, holy hell, what is this?
Yeah. I mean, and Randy was my guy mostly because I didn't understand what Warrior was saying.
Yeah. He was snorting. That's why.
Yeah. So yeah, man, and I've been at it ever since then, and when Shawn kind of lost his smile and hurt his back, then it just so happened that that's when young Rocky Maivia was starting, and then all of a sudden The Rock was my guy for the longest time, and I've watched a lot of my friends go in and out of it, but it's just always been my thing. Like, it's just always the thing that I've enjoyed the most, and the small brushes that I've had with being a small part of the industry has always been really fun.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any current wrestlers that you enjoy watching that are your favorites?
Oh gosh, yeah, man. I mean, Cody Rhodes is probably my favorite wrestler right now.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's probably a name that most everyone would say, but Cody's my guy. Cody's been my guy, or one of my guys, since he started. I always thought he was great. Ethan Page is another one of my favorite wrestlers.
I like him too.
I once drove him from the airport to Starcast.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
That's
Isn't he
awesome,
the
man.
one
a
that
long time ago.
talks about his titties? Then he call him. Isn't
Yeah,
that him? I
yeah,
thought so.
yeah. Ethan Page with the tightest tits in the game. That's right.
Yes, tightest tits in the game.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's just Ethan's great. Of course, I love FTR.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Of
yeah.
course you do. What's
Mercedes
not to love?
Monet. Um, yeah, I'm just a big fan right now of wrestling in general, and I don't know that I could say that for the entire allotment of time that I've watched pro wrestling. Sometimes you just watch it out of habit, but like over the last couple of years, it's gotten really really good again.
Yeah.
And
Right.
and also I'm at an age in my life now where I have disposable income, so I can go to these things more.
That helps.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. And so, I got to go to the Raw after Survivor Series in Nashville, where Randy Orton and Punk and all those guys came back, and that was a lot of fun. And I've had the pleasure of getting to meet a lot of these guys and befriend a lot of them, and it's really cool. And I'm excited to do this stuff with the AWF and to get more involved with that. And
Is
who knows, man? Who knows where that could lead?
is there any young talent at AWF that stands out to you, or is there any independent performers that have come through that have caught your eye that we hadn't seen on television yet? Or
Yeah, 100%, man. So, well, there's one guy that he's with the NWA now. His name's Alex Taylor. I don't know if you guys are watching NWA or not. He used to be in a tag team with Jeremiah Plunkett, and now I think he's in some kind of like trio 6-man with Ricky Morton's son and someone else. But Alex was trained by Seth Rollins,
Hmm.
and in his at his wrestling school in Iowa. And from the minute I saw that kid, I was like, "Oh yeah, this guy's money." He's good in the ring. He's got a great look. He's got loads of charisma. Like he could, I really do think that in the right spot he could be something really cool. Their former AWF champion, his name is Brian Valor. He used to be Alex Taylor's tag team partner for a long time, and Brian is the same thing, man. He's got the ring skills. He's got the look. He just needs the opportunity, and I think that it'll come eventually. And then also, Paul's son Lex is another guy. He's actually done some extra work for WWE. He actually was on. He wrestled Bo Dallas in 2016 on an episode of Raw.
oh, nice.
Yeah, which was really cool. And he's and he can talk and he can
Oh,
work.
that guy's incredible. I know exactly. Yes.
So it's yeah. So Lex is awesome. Those are three of the guys that I would from the AWF that I would say keep a lookout for sure. Another person that I'm pretty high up on because I used to go to some of the independent stuff in St. Louis. There's a guy there named Dan the Dad, and
Dan
his
Dad.
his character is essentially he's just a dad. So he
I
comes
love
to the
this.
ring in
I love it.
like khaki shorts and the knee high socks, like a
The
polo
shoes
shirt.
that he
and hat.
mowed, the shoes that he just mowed in, the white shoes.
I've seen him on
Yeah,
what the promotion that we had on that was in the amphitheater, not in the in the community theater where the stage was.
Prime. Was it prime time?
No, it wasn't prime time. It was
Not prime time. Tri-State.
Tri-State. Yes, we
Yeah.
saw him on Tri-State. Very
Okay.
entertaining. Very
I-
entertaining
yeah.
gimmick.
I haven't seen him, but just the sound of it, I know I love it. I already
Yeah,
love it. I
Yeah.
it was good.
yeah. Look him up, Justin. All his socials are thanks Dan the Dad.
Dan the Dad.
And,
Okay.
Yeah, his whole shtick is just hilarious to me. The first time I saw him, he came out for a 6-man tag to Phil Collins' studio, and I was like, "Yeah, this is my guy. This is my dude from now on."
Oh my God, that's funny.
I love it.
And
That's one of the things I love about working the indies is that the stars of tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The stars are tomorrow.
100%, man.
You get so, and I hate to say I'm
I got
proud
him.
because that just I don't. Who am I to be proud?
Yeah,
But
there it is.
I didn't have anything to do with it. But it's just when you look up and you see somebody that you're working with on the indies as an extra on Raw
Yeah.
or extra on AEW for that matter, or doing dark matches or like one of our tag teams. They weren't even tag team. They actually wrestled each other quite a bit. Frankie Thomas and Bam Bam Malone were on a 2-on-1 match against Braun Strowman. It was,
Mm-hmm.
but you're just happy to see them getting that kind of exposure, and taking the extra work at WWE there's nothing wrong with that because over Thanksgiving I watched a video from 2006 of in England, and Sheamus was security.
Mm-hmm.
Sheamus and Wade Barrett were security to throw Shawn Michaels and Triple H out of the arena. So they went on to do a little something.
Right.
To answer Terry Weaver's question, Dan the Dad wears New Balance white shoes. And I think this is one of my favorite tweets that he has on here. Middle class or no class? Hell yeah.
And our friend Kaya McKenna, who was on the show not too long ago, she was security for WWE a couple of weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago.
And she
Yes.
trained at Seth's place too.
She did train at Seth's place too. But yeah, like you said, I mean, you just never know.
Yeah, she's security
that?
and a seamstress.
What is that? What do you do that?
My nose itched.
Uh-huh.
I was on the outside with the finger out.
I know, but I thought you were making
It's
fun
not
of
like
me.
I went digging.
No, I thought you were like, because I said our friend Kai was on there. I thought you were like, ooh, you're
Yeah,
brown
it's a Carol
nosing.
Burnett deal. Hi, Kaya. Instead of pulling my ear because I got earphones on, I'm doing like this.
No, I thought you were saying I was brown nosing. I thought you were like, ooh.
No. My nose legitimately itched.
Okay. It just looked very.
You can't do
weird.
anything over there, Dave. She's on
Weird
top of your
timing. I
ass.
know, because he makes fun of me enough. Like I'm just
She's
thinking.
on my ass like a diaper. Most of the time, full of shit.
You're gonna have to train that dog
Yes,
of
you
yours to
are.
sick her when she comes down there.
No, I'd break my heart if Bucky attacked me.
Bucky cracks me up because he thinks he's a pit bull.
Oh gosh, look how precious.
Now, I think Teppy, since you're going through pictures, can you bring back up the one of Derik in the cop uniform? It's because I think I know why there's women in the chat here, because it looks to me like he might be doing some, pre-wedding parties, some bachelorette parties.
I know. I was going to say I saw that and I'm like, I don't think I should take Sean to this show.
If that's not a stripping outfit, I don't know what is. It looked like the ladies were about to throw some money up there or something.
Yeah, that's happened before.
I was going to say, you did say this was the unemployment tour. You got to do what you got to do, right, Derik?
Yeah, exactly.
2020.
Yeah. Gas ain't cheap, man. So I got to show some thigh. You know what I'm saying?
So I noticed that you were performing in
There it is.
Birmingham. There he is.
Look at that.
Look at the girls up front. They're hollering. They got their money out. Look at them.
Amy's over here. I have the right to remain silent, but not the ability.
Those shorts don't look like they made it too much longer.
No, man. I tell you what, there was one time I thought I was going to cough and I was going to have to arrest myself for indecent exposure. So, Amy, I don't wear those at my show, like at my stand-up.
Not that, yeah.
Unless you want him to. Unless he will do it by request.
That is for the VIP meet and greet that happens after.
I got you. Now, if my sister, if I can get her to go, maybe we'll go to the VIP. But if I'm going with Sean, I'll have to go to just the normal show.
So we, like I said, we did murder mystery shows at this dinner theater in Chattanooga, and so Of course, one of the characters would die, would get murdered, and this cop would come on the stage to solve the crime. And it just so happened that there would usually be a lady that's sitting about where that lady is right now, and I would throw my leg on the table, and I'd say there's a murderer here in the room, or I'd say there's been a murderer here tonight, and then I'd throw my leg up in her face, and I'd be like, call me nuts. But the murderer's still in the room.
Allison Faye wants to know where she can get that ticket at.
VIP.
Yeah. Just DM me. Slide him a DM, though.
There you go.
Oh, he's got a little OnlyFans going on. I see. Again, unemployment tour. You got to do what you got to do.
That's right. So,
Derek, don't
this
know what
is
to
story.
say.
Well, because this is a story I usually just tell on stage if I like the audience, but you guys are family, so I'll tell you. So we're doing the show one night. It was 2000. Gosh, it was 10 years ago. It was 2013, and we're getting ready to do the show that I do that cop for. And one of the girls that works the front desk ran into the dressing room, and she was like, "Honey Boo Boo's here." And I was like, "What?" And she said, "Honey Boo Boo and her whole family are here." And I was like,
The
okay,
whole Boo Boo family is here.
Yeah. Honey Boo Boo, Daddy Boo Boo, Mama Boo Boo, they're all here.
All the Boo Boos have arrived.
Yeah. All the Boo Boos have came. I was like, I don't want to go on. So they're sitting in those seats, right? And Honey Boo Boo was in that specific seat. And I was just like, well, I mean, this is what I do for every show. So I just did that to Honey Boo Boo.
How old was Honey Boo Boo?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter, Amy. It's the law of statute limitations are over. It doesn't matter.
Back then with Honey Boo Boo, you're lucky she didn't think that was a turkey thigh and just rip that thing off and take a bite out of it.
Well, she did rub mayonnaise on my thigh. I didn't know what that was about. But now that makes sense. Now it makes sense.
We know how you love mayonnaise, Justin.
Oh yeah.
Are you like me, Justin? Do you know how to mayonnaise?
I hate mayonnaise, bro.
Yeah, bro, me too.
I'm anti-mayonnaise.
When we have 500 subscribers to our YouTube channel, though, Justin's going to eat a spoonful.
Just ruined my New Year's resolution. I was trying to go the whole year without saying the word mayonnaise. But
Sorry about that, buddy.
I haven't been the same on mayonnaise since Undercover Brother.
Oh,
That
I
movie.
didn't know
That
what
movie ruined it for me.
yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Mm.
I took a date to that movie, and that ruined it for her. So.
But it was such a good movie.
Oh, that's great.
Who's in it? I don't even know. I don't know what the movie is. Who's in it?
Eddie Griffin.
yeah.
Eddie Griffin.
I don't think they played that in the Kentucky theaters, Amy.
What's her name? What's her name that was married? That was with Charlie Sheen.
Okay,
Denise
Huntington,
Richards.
West Virginia. I don't know why the hell you always act like I'm backwoods.
Denise Richards.
Denise Richards was in it. She played White Cheetah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a send up of like the blaxploitation movies of the 70s.
I gotcha. Okay.
But it was really funny.
Yeah, they
And the
were
guy
like it was like the scary movie for like Shaft and stuff.
The
like
guy
that.
from Night at Roxbury was in it, and he was the villain.
Little
Catan?
guy.
Chris Catan?
Yeah, Chris Kattan, and he played, and the organization was the Man, and they're standing
right.
up to the Man.
Also
I
known
got
as
it.
Mango.
Mango.
Yes, don't speak the words.
It was a good movie. It's stupid. You got to watch it. It's great.
If you can't find it on streaming, I guarantee you it's at some Dollar General for 99 cents.
You know what? Sean and I were talking. We don't even have a DVD player anymore in the house, like, because everything is, we have all these different streamings, but we have DVDs that he does, but we're like, we need to at least have a DVD player out in the man cave or something,
If the internet goes out, how are you going to watch porn? That's my thought on it. So you got to have a DVD player.
But I just thought that, think about it, 10 years ago. I mean, who would have thought all of that would be for nothing? Like,
Remember the people that had like 800 DVDs, and now they're like, "Why'd I spend all that money?"
Well, Dollar
Right.
General's got Dolly Parton's new CD on their checkout stand. Rockstar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's 1995, and I'm thinking, who's buying a CD?
Yeah.
Why? I don't
I
even.
mean,
have
I wasn't
that.
even
Dolly
looking
Parton
for it.
fans.
I wasn't even looking for it. It
Yeah.
plays on Apple Music for
The
me.
people that Derek used to wait on in Branson are buying those.
Yeah.
Speaking of Dolly, Derek, does she ever show up at the Stampede?
No. As well, I'll say this. She has never shown up and been announced that she's shown up. Now, she may show up every once in a while, like check in incognito, but I think COVID kind of killed that, honestly. She used to, according to some of the older performers at Pigeon Forge, she used to come in like once a year and do like a joint performance with the Stampede. But,
Oh.
with when COVID hit, that kind of went away. I told them.
That's a great idea. I'm sure you couldn't tell it was Dolly in disguise at all if she did that.
Yeah.
That would be great.
No, but you know what though? We probably wouldn't know Dolly without. Like she could come in without her wig, without
I
her.
know,
na-
but
you
soon
know-
as she talks, you're gonna know it's her.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
She couldn't talk, but she could come in and check stuff out. If she wasn't all made up, people probably have no idea who she was.
Terry says there are a few hints.
Tea-weave, you big perv.
So how did you start doing shows with Casio? I noticed that when you immediately pointed out that you want this episode to get more views than Casio's.
Yeah, it's just because I love Casio. Man, we met at Zany's when he was hosting a live 83 weeks with Conrad and Bischoff.
I was at that one. Did Tony show up too? Tony Schiavone?
Yeah,
Yeah, I was there.
cool,
Oh,
man. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
I actually it is. Yeah, I drove all night from Branson to get there that day to go to that, and so yeah, so we met there and just kind of hit it off, and then he was at the Comedy Catch in Chattanooga the January after that, which was January of 19, and I had just done a show in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee, which is about 45 minutes away from Chattanooga, so I was in the area, and he DM'd me and he's like, "Hey, you want to come do a guest spot tonight at the Comedy Catch?" And I was like, "Yep, I sure do." And so we did that, and then he and I've done a few shows together. As a matter of fact, he's going to be on the show that I'm doing in my hometown on January the 20th. It's going to be me and him and a guy from his X5 podcast, David Lynham, I think is his name.
Familiar that David Lynham does his theme song,
White Trash Superstar.
White Trash Superstar.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
cool.
So the three of us are going to be at a little brewery in my hometown on January the 20th, and I'm pretty excited about that. Cassio's great, and we always have a lot of fun. I mean, we have a lot of fun hanging out together, but we have a lot of fun being on stage as well. So
You never quit smiling when you're around Casio.
no, you don't, man. That's his superpower. It's the same thing for Conrad. They just make everybody that they've ever talked to feel like that they've known him for years.
Yeah.
It's the coolest thing.
Because I finally met you in Nashville.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Uh,
I got that blown up,
First I-
hanging over my bed.
Well, at first I was kind of half hot because Lauren Young put on her Twitter, "I love Derik Zoo and no one else," and I'm like, well, who first? I'm wounded, and who the hell is Derik Zoo?
Who's this prick?
Dave is such a good little spoon. Look at him. Just
I
all
know.
snuggled up in there.
Yeah, we fit right in together, man.
Yeah, we did.
dude.
Peanut butter and jelly.
That's right.
We need to post that picture and get everybody to caption what the guy behind us is saying.
That guy behind us is saying, "Man, I wish that dude in the lime green was wearing the short shorts." That's what he's saying.
Oh, nobody's looking for that.
Is this
Yeah, man.
podcast, right?
No, that
Yes.
was at the That was at Municipal.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I
That
mean,
was right after
okay,
the
Ric
last
Flair's
match.
last match.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
right after the last match.
I
Yep.
gotcha.
Well, cool.
Yeah, gosh, one of the coolest nights in my entire wrestling fandom was that whole thing, man. Like working that Starcast and then being a part of that, and everything. It was just a lot of fun. I always tell people, I'm a friend of Conrad's by association. I feel like I'm friends with everybody in that friend group. So it was just cool to hang out and be a part of it.
It's awesome, and Rachel Ellering was on a show with me in Louisiana, and we were talking about that night, and she said that was the biggest crowd she'd ever performed in front of. So when she got hurt, she was fighting through it just because she was so excited to be there, and which I thought was, she'd been some places. So to hear her say that was the biggest crowd that she'd been in front of really surprised me.
Mhm. I bet too that crowd was really vocal in general. Like they were just, I mean, like they were
They
everybody
were having
wanted
a
to be
time.
there.
That
Yes.
audience, people that weren't there criticize it but being there was nobody in that arena that, nobody in that arena didn't have that. Everybody had a great time is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yep.
There wasn't like a show where like, someone drug their, girlfriend or what. Like everybody in that auditorium wanted to be there to watch all the matches. They knew all the people, I mean, that was it was just
It
that
was
type of
electric. It was
wrestling.
an event. It was a
Yeah.
happening.
That was the type of wrestling
And
fan
to
that
wait
was
that
there.
whole time just for the referee to screw over Jeff Jarrett at the end was really a bunch of bull crap. But it is
You
what
mad,
it
bro?
is. Poor old Double J.
He seemed to have gotten over it though.
Yeah. He seems
Yeah, I think
he seems to be
I think-
struggling from that.
Yeah,
he's never been the same, man.
Ruined his
He's never been the
career,
same.
Dave.
So Derek, okay, so we know you've got your unemployment tour coming up and you've got
Yes.
your movie.
Yes.
What else? What else is in the pipeline for 2024 for you?
Well, I'll be back at the Stampede in the middle of February, and I'll be there in more of a part-time basis, trying to get back on the road to do more stand-up. I'm actually working right now on a wrestling-themed dinner show
Ooh.
that we're trying to roll out in the spring. So
Like at Pigeon Forge or where? Where are you going to do it?
no, and in right outside of
Oh.
Chattanooga.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So hoping to do that, and yeah, I've got a couple other things I'll keep close to the chest, but
Sure.
yeah, I think 2024 is going to be a fun year. I'll tell you guys off air. I don't really want to tell.
You got a big wrestling event coming up in February, don't you?
Um,
I think we have the poster for it. Is why I'm asking.
maybe. I don't think I'm not on anything.
Oh no, it's Saturday, January 13th.
AWF has got a huge event.
That must be another AWF because that's not us.
Well, shout out
We,
to AW.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
Good luck to you guys
AW
on the 13th.
We'll circle back. We'll circle back to that after you're gone, and we'll put over that promotion, whoever they are.
Yeah.
You have
Joke's
been
on
booked,
us.
sir. Yeah.
They actually have JJ Dillon the fourth there now. It's the craziest thing.
It is.
At
Yes,
that
I
AWF.
know. I
Yeah.
cannot wait. That's cool.
I love that so much.
Oh man, yeah. The AWF that I'm associated with, they have their big Rumble Riot show, which is this Saturday.
Okay.
It'll be at the Circus 10 Arena. So if you're in the Chattanooga, North Georgia area and you'd like to get tickets for that, you can go to awfwow.com and grab some tickets for it. It'll be a lot of fun.
Sounds good.
It does.
Yeah, but I will be on a horse singing singing songs while people eat chicken with their hands. So I won't be there that night.
No.
Well, thank you, Derek, for coming on with us. We really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. And everyone go out there and check him out on his horse and anywhere else he may be riding around out
That's
there in the
right.
country.
You got some socials you want to drop?
Yeah, everything's at Derik Zoo, Derik Zoo. So yeah, be my friend. That sounds real desperate, but yeah. Hop on board. I'll for you ladies in the chat. I'll try to post more pictures of me in those short shorts.
Hey, and Derek, since you enjoyed the roundtable that they did last week of Iron Claw, make sure you go back a couple of weeks and listen to the discussion with David Manning. He was phenomenal, and he talked a lot about different things in WCCW. So if you haven't listened to it and you like the Iron Claw roundtable, I think you'll really enjoy listening to what David Manning had to say.
Yeah, I actually now that I've got a little bit of free time over the next few weeks, there's several of your episodes that I need to catch up on. Tim Storm, I'm real
Yep.
excited to listen to because I'm a huge Tim Storm fan. That
Did
one
you
with
know
David
he's a
Manning.
Did you know he's a teacher?
Yes, ma'am.
You knew he's a high school teacher. Could you imagine that? He's your teacher in high school,
That-
ninth grade history or whatever he was that he taught.
Yeah, that'd be phenomenal.
He had the best line in the interview too, Derek. He said, "I work heel as a teacher," which
That's
I
right.
love.
Tim Storm's the best. I've been working with Tim Storm since I started,
Yeah,
and unfortunately, he's not going to be on our show in Fountain Hill on January 13th because he has NWA commitments.
I know. I can't wait for them to come back to Nashville. I'm going to go to an NWA show in Nashville. Let's go.
I'll tell you, man. I know the NWA gets a lot of flack for whatever miscellaneous reasons, but I got to go to their couple shows that they did every year at the Chase in St. Louis.
Hmm.
So I got to go in 2021 where Aldous dropped the NWA title to Trevor Murdoch, and then I got to go in 2022 as well. And they deliver. I mean, they've got some really good wrestlers on their roster. It's just, unfortunately, sometimes people like to pop off and say things, and it gets mired in, whatever kind of controversies it is. But I definitely would recommend going to one of their shows. Tom Latimer is a friend of mine, and I think that dude is honestly one of the best wrestlers in the world today right now.
I don't disagree with you on that. He's the last time I watched NWA, he was very, very good on there.
And
Yeah.
hey, our friend Ray Fury's been showing up
Ray
on
Fury's
NWA.
been doing some shots for him.
We love seeing that. I'd love to see Brock Anderson in NWA. That'd be cool. Go for the TV title.
That feels
I
like
have
a
a lot
perfect fit for him too.
I know. I have a lot of dreams. I've said I would like for him to go to OVW, which is in Louisville. That's not very far from me either. So,
Well,
it
and
makes stalking easier.
EC3 is their champion, and he's doing some touring around, and I think that's nothing but good for the brand. And Billy Corgan is letting. I mean, I think they have three promotions they're working with now that are NWA territories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
So
one around you all in Chattanooga. AJ, what's his name? Not Costanza. That's not what is his name?
It's something like that though, like Zion, I think.
Yeah, Kansas. What is it? I met him when I went to Dr. Tom's school. He came in because he was going to practice, and now his dad is also his dad was a wrestler and
they don't
promoter.
practice. It's called
Yeah,
training.
Joe. That is true. It is called training.
It's training, not practice.
You can always tell the pros from the amateurs when somebody says
Whoa.
practice.
I see how you want to be.
Yeah,
We
they
talking
don't wear
about
gear; they wear
practice?
costumes.
We talk about practice.
We're talking practice.
Practice.
Oh,
No, it used to drive me crazy when people would say that about theater stuff. They're like, because you're going to rehearsal in theater, and people would be like, "I'm going to play practice." I'm like, "All right, shut up. That's not what we're doing."
Well, I'm done with this interview, so we can.
But Amy, you're wonderful. You say whatever you want.
I'm just
and
kidding.
Andrew Hermes
No,
says
you're
he
right.
can't.
You're right.
Andrew Hermes says he can't take the NWA seriously. Cyrus was the champ, and now EC3.
I don't understand the EC3 part. What does
I
he
don't.
not?
I mean, EC3 is not. I mean, he does not embarrass himself at the ring. He's a hell of a performer. Looks like $1 million damn. But a lot of people have that attitude about the NWA because, sure, it's not what it used to be. It's not what it
Right.
was when I was a little kid. But those 3 letters still mean something to me. I want to see them. I want to see them do really well.
And EC3 is actually wrestling Jesse God is at OVW. Maybe
Yeah, I mean,
this weekend. I mean, like you said, he is definitely, making the rounds. Who? Oh, I was like, who died in '94? I understand what you're saying. I mean, I get why there's a lot of backlash about Tyrus. I mean, I do understand that, but I mean, I think EC3 is definitely a good representation. Like you said, he's out there wrestling. He's not just for looks. I mean, having the NWA title on Fox Network. I mean, I understand. But I don't know. I just thought EC3
it's all exposure and bad publicity. Bad publicity is publicity.
Right. So I'm like you. I think
Plus the guys, Tyrus was a heel. So like for the people that are gonna crap on that being on Fox, we'll crap on him because he's a heel. Like that's what he's doing.
I'm going to put a star in this comment and come back to it in a minute.
Oh, why? I had to read it twice because I was like, what? I didn't understand. It's so eloquent, like only our Andrew can write.
Well, Derik, thank you again for joining us tonight. Keep us in the loop about your comedy special when it's coming out where we can watch it. If you ever want to come on the show, put over whatever you're doing. You have an open invitation anytime you want to come on, my friend.
Well, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Sorry I was late today. I promise
okay.
the next time. I promise the next time I'll be more punctual and you'll be able to see me. So that'll be nice.
We know you're busy. We appreciate your time.
And all your
right. See? There she is.
I'm quick. I can learn.
Amy, when am I getting my Arn Anderson graphic novel?
Very, very soon. And hey, Derik, make sure you look in there because you're going to see this face. I'm in the book.
That's awesome.
What are you laughing, Justin? I am in the book.
As well you should be.
Just the way you said that delivery just cracked me up right there.
As Arn's #1 fan, you should be in the book.
I liked what you said. I'm in the book.
It should. They are rolling out. They really should be anytime. Believe me, I'm ready. Oh, Andrew, he's in the know. Shipping this week.
Thanks, Andrew.
There it is.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't get an update about my Arn novel. I got an update about buying a hockey player's novel that he's doing.
Oh, he sent one out.
Okay, but what about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of frustrating when it's like, hey, I'm not real sure where these Arn Anderson graphic novels are, but if you want one of Mario Lemieux, we can make that happen. And I'm like, who cares about hockey? Hockey's fixed anyway. Don't you know that?
I think it's off.
Pro wrestling's real. Yeah, it is.
That's
Isn't
right.
it Shivani that says everything's a work?
Yeah.
Yes.
I knew an old wrestler named Redneck Taz. Perry Tisdale was his name. And he told me one time that everything's a shoot and everything's a work and everything I just told you is 100% true.
I love that. I'm going to start using that from now on. Dave, I know you guys have been trying to wrap me up. I apologize.
No, I knew you had a tough day. I just wasn't trying to keep you.
Oh, no.
Any longer.
You're fine, man. I'm enjoying it. Did you ever work with Action Mike Jackson?
I've never worked with him.
Okay.
I've met him several times, but I've never actually worked with him.
I mean this in like the most sincere, nicest way that I possibly can. That dude is the most carny individual I've ever met in my entire life.
100%.
Like, so he'll do these shows for Paul. You know, he'll do like the big Wrestle Jams and stuff for Paul. And And intermission, Paul will have me like grab the microphone and be like, "Hey guys, Jim Cornette's over in the the West Hall, and we got Kevin Nash over here, and Buff Bagwell signing stuff, and just trying to make sure that they know where everything is for intermission." And dude, he will come up and grab the microphone out of my hand, and he'll be like, "I got this mystery box," and he'll just shake this cardboard box. He's like, "I got this mystery box. Whatever you want, $1. Anything in there, just reach in and grab it from the mystery box, $1." And I'm trying to like get the mic back. And he's like, "I'm not done yet, kid."
It's amazing what he can do at 70 plus years old.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love watching the guy wrestle. Like, he's still fun to watch.
Yeah.
But it's just, he's the most infuriating person I've ever had to deal with at a wrestling show.
Derik, don't F with this picture money now. All right.
Seriously, dude.
Did you hear what Cassio's experience was with him?
No, I don't think so.
Cassio once decided that he wanted to be the Alabama junior heavyweight champion.
Oh, I did hear that, but tell the story. It's great.
So he calls. So he gets Action Jackson's contact info, and he gives him a call, and he wants to buy the belt. And come to find out, he doesn't even have the belt. He sold it.
Yeah.
And he gets replicas of it from Pakistan, and he's always selling it.
But originally he told Cassio he had it. He's like, "Yeah, I got the belt, right?"
Yeah,
and
it was just
then Cassio's like, "But you don't have the real belt." He's like, "No, I don't have that belt."
See, he had a belt that Reggie Parks made back in the day, and he used it as the Alabama Junior Heavyweight Championship. This was one of those like the old AWA tags. I mean, this was a classic Reggie belt. And Dave told him, said, "Hey, I'll trade you that belt, and I'll make you an Alabama Junior Heavyweight belt." So he had a legitimate Midwest from Dave Milliken Alabama Junior Heavyweight belt, and I guess he sold it and realized that he could start getting them. And then he learned you can get them a lot cheaper out of Pakistan.
Yeah.
That's great. We saw him at GCW in June in Huntsville, actually.
Oh yeah.
And he was there.
Yeah.
He had his, like you said, he definitely was working his table.
Yeah. Did he walk the top rope?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Dude's amazing. I couldn't do that now at 38, at half his age.
Right. I think you 38. Gosh, you're such a baby, Derik. I forgot.
I'm getting ready in 4 days to not be 38 anymore.
Well, happy early birthday, buddy.
I'm kind of sad about it. I got one more year of the old 30s in me. Thank you, by the way.
By that time, I mean, me and Dave will be swimming in the 50s.
Oh, bless you, Amy. I get a senior citizens discount with my sandwich.
Well, I know, but I'm saying, I know, but hey.
I proudly tell them, yeah, I'm over 55.
My mom and dad are just like, well, I'll take that discount, right?
Heck yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't with these prices? If only they could do it for gas, right? No.
Wouldn't it be nice?
Wouldn't that be nice?
You get gas when you get that age, but I think it's a different kind.
That's true. That's not going to help your car. Very time.
Free for everybody. That's free for everybody. Dave, did you ever work with Bambi or Peggy Lee Leathers?
Peggy Lee Leathers.
One of them passed away a couple years ago. I forget which one.
I don't think it's Bambi because Bambi's going into the prime time. That she's going into their Hall of Fame or North Georgia. Is it?
Man, I may have with Peggy Lee Leathers.
Yeah.
Might have been on the same show with her. I didn't work her match.
So my first client as J.J. Dillon IV was Peggy Lee Leathers, but she had lost the Loser Leaves Town match a couple months before that, and so she came back as the Amazon Queen. She's under a mask, and I'm 22, 23 at the time, and so I'm in the locker room. I'm in an oversized suit. I look like I'm wearing my dad's suit in this thing. I don't know. I bought it at Goodwill because I'm 22. I like money, right? And so I'm in the dressing room. I'm like shaking hands, trying to introduce myself, trying to do the right thing. She's talking to another wrestler, and I'm going to go up to her to be like, "Hey, Miss Leathers, I'm in your match tonight." Just to try to figure out what we're going to do. And as I walked up, she looked at me. She went, "Kayfabe!" And the guy walked away, and I was like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me!"
Can I have your autograph?
Kayfabe.
So I walked up to Paul, and I was like, "Hey, man, Peggy Lee just kayfabed me. Do you care to come introduce me to her?" And he's like, "Yeah, buddy, don't worry about it." And so he walked me over, and he's like, "Hey, Peg, this is Derik. He's gonna be your manager tonight." And dude, her face fell, and she was apologetic, and then she was the nicest person I've ever met after that.
That is
Like
hilarious.
very complimentary and everything, but I was just like, seriously, first night, I mean, kayfabe by these people?
Dave yelled that at me the first time I met him. He thought he was too big. He yelled kayfabe.
Peggy Lee Leather and Bambi are both going into the
Oh.
North Georgia Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame in
Together.
Well,
January.
good, they should.
Yeah.
Well, then maybe I was wrong about one of them passing away.
Well, I will say this: the Peggy Lee Leather picture looks like it's from her ring day, to where the Bambi picture maybe looks a little bit more recent. So maybe, I don't know. It doesn't say, like, what are they? What is it whenever they go
Posthumously.
What is it?
Posthumously.
Posthumously. Justin, quit it.
I didn't say anything. I'm trying to hide behind my screen.
Can we circle back to Justin for a minute? Justin, what was that, the animal that you said that Derik was riding?
I think I said a horse. Why?
Oh.
What else did I say?
Hey, Stephanie.
Stephanie, he just said hi to you.
Hey,
I don't think she realized that she walked onto the camera.
She passed away in May of this year, Terry Weaver says, according to the Wikipedia gimmick.
Oh.
So yes, Amy, she will be going in posthumously. I could have
Well,
sworn
rest in peace, Peggy Lee.
Justin says horse, and it made it sound like he was saying whores.
Horse. Well, he might have been riding those too. You never know.
Not the show.
It's the
Not-
unemployment tour. He's got to do what he's got to do.
That's underneath the bleachers.
Not the show, guys. Clean family fun in the show.
That is that really is. I think that was the most fun we had with our vacation when we actually stayed in Sevierville.
Uh-huh.
When we went to the Stampede. It was great. I wasn't sure what to expect, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, good, man. Did you
Excuse me.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Amy.
No, I was just going to say, now anybody that goes starting in February, mid-February on, you need to make sure that you reach out to Derik so that he knows you're coming, gives you a little special wave or something at the show.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'd be happy to do that.
And they got forks.
And they got
We
forks.
do have forks now. Tell them about the show, Derik. Well, we got forks, folks. That's all
All I
you
need
need
to
to know.
know. That's all I
Yeah.
We got
It's a fork and good time to Stampede, so come on down. Dave, did you get to see the America Patriotic show, or did you get to see the Christmas show?
It was the America Patriotic Show.
Okay, that's a great show too. But I would highly recommend coming to the Christmas show.
Mhm.
It's just, I think it's the better of the two. And it's just ingrained in my head right now. So that's what we've been doing for the last 2 months. But I don't know, man. There's just something different about that Christmas show. Like, it's fun to watch people turn back into kids watching, that show.
It seems like
stuff,
that
so-
whole area at Christmas time would be so much fun.
That's what I was
Yeah,
gonna
oh,
say.
yeah.
I'm sure the whole downtown Gatlinburg, all the different places are just very festive for Christmas. I'm sure it would be really a good time. I know a lot of people do go after Christmas or even for Christmas, during that break, to Gatlinburg. Oh, poor Terry.
Make sure you cover your trash cans, Derik. You don't want
True.
any bears getting in there. Have you had any encounters while you've been down there?
I have not as of yet, but I'm assuming that it's coming.
Um,
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah,
I've been in Mississippi 13 years. I haven't seen a bear yet. Well, other than on camera. We've had them on our deer cameras, but
I've seen a few bears down at the gay bars, but I think those are different ones.
I was wondering who was going to make that joke, so I'm glad somebody else did.
Take
We
a
love
picture
you.
next time, Justin. We'll help. We'll help figure out what it is.
Well, Justin,
Dave, if you do get one down there, train it. Go ahead.
Justin's shirt is hashtag not completely straight, and that's available at jumpinthepond.com.
Oh, I thought you meant the one I got on right now.
Well, I mean,
No.
Queen. Okay,
There you go. You're on brand, that's for sure.
pretty much the same.
All right.
That's tremendous.
All right.
Dave, I was just going to say, if you do see a bear, trap it, catch it, and then that way you guys can wrestle it at your shows.
You can train it. Yeah, like Stu Hart did.
That's right.
Yeah.
He could be like the
Take it around the
outside
loop like Tracy Smothers.
He can
I'm
live
actually
under your
fortunate
porch
enough-
like it did.
I'm actually fortunate enough that I have actually been in the audience for the wrestling bear before.
There you go.
I don't know.
I got to see that one time
Where did you see that, Pondwater?
at the sportatorium.
At the sportatorium.
Who did it wrestle?
Maybe
It's gotta
Wild
be
Bill
Fritz.
Irwin.
Oh, it's too bad.
It might have been Wild Bill Irwin. Could have been Captain Frank Dusick.
Do they usually win over the bear?
No, the bear goes over.
The bear goes over. That's
Yeah.
probably smart.
That bear don't do no jobs, Amy. What are you talking about?
I didn't think so.
Bronco Lubitsch got distracted and the bear cheated.
Yeah, the bear. The bear.
Cheated.
No
Bear
yob.
had
No
three-
yob.
Threw him over the ropes.
There was Pondwater
That's
yelling.
how
"The bear's
Lee Orr
cheating!"
McGurk lost his vision.
Oh, that's funny.
I thought it was
Or-
because they said if you keep doing that, you'll go blind. So he did it till he needed glasses.
Little of this, little of that.
Yeah.
That's actually that shower scene in the Iron Claw. That was Lee Orr McGurk.
Yeah, I was thinking at the beginning of the movie, I'm like, really? We didn't.
Well, I mean,
But I mean, he was screwing with Mike. He was like, Mike, would you please go away?
I mean,
Don't
it's teenage boys, right? I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what y'all do, right?
I wouldn't know.
So I went and saw that movie with my cousin, who's like my sister, and her boyfriend. We went and saw it on Christmas Eve, and I was trying to explain to them because they're not wrestling fans. So I was trying to explain to them what was going on, and of course that happens in the first like 5 minutes of the movie, and I was like, oh god,
Yeah.
I brought them to the wrong movie.
You know, when they had the scene with Kevin and Pam in the truck,
Yeah,
and all I could think of was, I wonder how awkward it was to watch this scene with Ross and Marshall sitting next to him. How Kevin was watching this.
boys, this ain't how it happened at all. I just want you to know this is a creative license. This ain't they didn't do nothing like that.
Yeah. Me and your mom only did it 4 times. All 4 you kids were born.
It
I
was
like that.
It was after we were married. Everything was consensual, contractually obligated. Everything was good.
That's funny.
Man, I'll tell you, it blew my mind to hear that you met David Von Erich on your episode last week.
Just briefly, just a handshake.
Yeah, but still, man, like it's just he's one of those to me. And of course, I didn't grow up with the Von Erichs. I learned about them later on as I got older, in my fandom. But like, it just blew my mind. Like he feels like a mythical, like he's like Bruiser Brody, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I got to meet Barbara Goodish a few years ago, and it was just weird to me. I was like, I'm meeting Bruiser Brody's widow. He has always just felt like this mythical being to me. And so just the fact that you had that brief encounter with him, I think is
I can
super
remember
cool.
every time I saw Bruiser Brody because it was an event every time I saw him.
Yeah.
That Bruiser Brody was probably in my mind. I didn't realize he was an attraction, and not just. I mean, even when he was there pretty regular, he was always an attraction for me. It was a big deal when we got to see Brody in the ring.
Do you think that people will look back at like people like Bray Wyatt or Brody Lee, the people that we've lost way too soon? Do you think that like people that are watching wrestling when we started watching wrestling at a young age, do you think when they grow up to be our age now, they'll be like, man, we got to see Bray Wyatt, in live, or we got to see Brody Lee live? Do you think that I guess what I'm trying to say is, do you think that anyone has hit that kind of mythical status, like a Bruiser or an Andre, somebody like that.
I don't think anybody kind of fits Bruiser status just because you didn't see him on TV a lot. So he was more mythical, I think, in a way. But go ahead, Dave.
I think the kids with Bray Wyatt definitely, because the Fiend made such an impression.
Yeah.
I definitely think that because the Fiend stood out as something completely different.
But I think that you're not going to have the same kind that we saw back in the 80s because of kayfabe. I mean, Bruiser Brody, like you really thought he probably like grabbed an animal and like ripped its head off. I mean, but you didn't know that he was a well-spoken, or family man.
Right,
But
but my grandson was scared of Bray Wyatt. Like
right,
we were told,
right,
don't let him watch Bray Wyatt. Don't let him watch the Fiend because it give him nightmares.
right. But I'm
The Fiend
saying,
freaked him out.
but he could go and unfortunately, our kids at 3 and 4, like they know how to Google him. But I'm saying he could find out that Bray Wyatt was engaged to JoJo and they had kids. You couldn't find that out when we were younger.
For me,
Like you
growing
didn't
up, like the
know.
only video I'd seen of Bruiser Brody was like him chasing little Japanese people around in the stands.
Oh,
Like
he
that's
came out swinging that chain, and we wasn't
yeah.
going near him.
That's what I'm saying. Like you would have thought. I mean, just like Justin, he didn't want to. I mean, he was scared to wait on Vader because he thought Vader was going to beat the shit out of him for bringing a cold steak. But that's not real. I
Yeah.
mean, that was just what he portrayed. But if
I mean, I saw Terry Gordy jump out of the ring and shove a guy back 3 rows. I wasn't screwing with Terry Gordy. I mean, I was all over Buddy Roberts, but I wasn't saying nothing ugly to Terry Gordy.
But that's what I'm saying. I just feel like it's
There's
not as
some of
mystical.
the mysticism's lost in the,
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
Can't
how
find out.
accessible
But I'd like
they
to
are.
think to a certain age group
Yes.
that
Yes.
it will.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think that age group's getting younger and younger.
Yeah.
For all kinds of reasons. But yeah, I mean, who wasn't scared of Jason and Freddy Krueger? We thought those things were real. I don't know. I just think, like I said, I think that sometimes that has knowing too much gets in the way of things.
We need more people yelling "Kayfabe."
But
Right.
you can't tell me. No, you can't tell me that today. I mean, it's just with kids. The kids will take that memory away. It's like we were telling Cassidy. My daughter had that memory of the crybaby.
Yes.
Of crybaby.
Yes.
My kids, my nephews were here, and my grandson, my nephew, my grandson saw the Nightmare Jeremiah, who's going to be a guest on our show here in a few weeks. When he yelled at the kids, he scared them, and they still remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that stuck with them. So, and you can't tell me that Cruel doesn't look at those kids and leave them feeling a certain kind of way, because he's intimidating with the eyes. So
Yeah.
So yeah, I think to answer your question, Derek, I do think I don't know if Brody Lee will as much.
Yeah.
Because he was in the Wyatts, but then he was Mr. Brody Lee in AEW, and I
Right.
think that was a completely different image. And I don't know so much as Bray Wyatt as with carrying the lantern and the Fireflies, but I think definitely the Fiend probably left a lasting impression.
Mm-hmm.
And
definitely.
and the Bray Wyatt character probably did too, just for the cool entrance.
Yeah.
I know when my stepson was in high school, they were trying to get the coach to let the team come out to the, go, we're here, and let them come out to the field to the Wyatt music.
Oh, that's cool.
So I know as a teenager that impressed, high school football players.
Yeah. I got to see the Fiend in 2020, of course, before the world went nuts. and that's just one of those this is just one of those moments in wrestling that I won't forget. Because it was just such the presentation and everything. It was a house show in Knoxville, but it was still just that presentation with the lantern that was his face and the mask and everything. I got some pretty cool pictures from that, and I just wonder that made an impression on me. I was 34 at the time.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how some 6-year-old kid that came there to watch Roman Reigns and the Usos, how they felt watching Bray Wyatt, as this deranged masked clown, killer clown, or whatever. So it's interesting, but I think Justin probably hit it on the head of the reason that those people like Bruiser Brody are so mythical is because we just don't have a lot of really good footage anymore.
Right.
And it's great to have the WWE Network. It's great to have YouTube and all that stuff, so you can research it, and see all the stuff that you miss. But it is you do kind of miss the tall tales that you heard about these people. And that's an interesting thought.
Well, I think it's our podcast and other podcasts like it that bring these legends on and let them tell those stories. I think we're at a good age where these stories are being recorded now and can be relived and heard in archives, and not just ours, but I mean all over. Everything that Conrad does with getting legends on and telling stories.
The books, how they
And the
do
book,
that.
I mean, getting all these stories out, because eventually they're going to be gone and those stories won't be told anymore.
Yeah. That's always the thing I think of when I look at that interview he did with Mr. Crockett just a few months before Mr. Crockett passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And just how thankful I am that we've got that recorded and as a part of history, because a man like Jimmy Crockett Jr. deserved to have his story told in a way like that, to where people weren't trying to just crap all over his legacy. That's the great thing about Conrad is he's Switzerland. He's neutral. He tries to be as unbiased as possible, especially in situations like that. And so it's just it's really great to that one and the Jerry Jarrett one. Just the fact that we lost both those guys recently. It's nice to have those things to be able to go back on and to hear those stories.
That's one of my absolute favorite things Conrad has done on there is those conversations. I wish he'd do more of them. It's been a while.
Mm-hmm. I'd love to hear Bill Watts if he would ever talk to him.
Bill's in Branson.
Well, hell, you left Branson. How's that help us, Derek?
I'll go back.
Will you go back?
I'll go back for a couple weeks. No.
Wear that cop outfit. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure Bill Watts would love me in that thing.
You never know.
Yeah, that would be a heavily edited interview at that point.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, I agree though, Amy. I think Bill Watts is one of those guys that we need to get his story. I mean, he wrote his book. Have either one of you read his book before?
I have not.
Yeah. That's probably one that I need to track down and read. But I would love to have
books, and I never
yeah.
I just finished Tim Hornbaker's book about Ric Flair. It was very good. I enjoyed that.
The last World Champion, is that the name of it or something similar to that?
You know what? Isn't that terrible? I don't know the name of it, but Ric Flair's on the front. It's like a white book with red or pink.
You're right, Derek.
Is that what it's called? Isn't that terrible?
Last scoring champion or something
yeah.
like that.
Something to that effect.
It is really good.
Yeah, I sat down and read a little bit of that at Barnes and Noble when I had some time to kill, and I thought it was really good. So I need to go back and read that one. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, but since we're talking about Flair right now, I'm gonna circle back to Andrew's comment that he was talking that Tyrus said he was sucking Flair off in an interview recently, pure trash, and I don't agree with that, because basically all Tyrus did is told, "Hey Rick, you apologized for being on AEW, you don't ever apologize for going to any wrestling arena, into any locker room, because you're Ric Flair.
He apologized. What happened?
When everybody was giving him a hard time because he was about the 18 to 28, that
Oh
crap.
my God, people
And he
need to
basically
grow
told him,
up.
remember that who you are, you go in any locker room you want to go in, and everybody that encounters you is better for it, just for the knowledge that you bring. And it was basically one of those pep talks telling Rick, don't forget who you are.
Right.
You never apologize for going to any wrestling show.
Right. That is kind of crazy.
And I totally 100% agreed with Tyrus on that.
But the book, I think Tim does a really great job with his research. But the travel schedule, the amount of dates that Ric Flair, as the NWA champion, is absolutely. I mean, he was a workhorse, and
Yes.
and Tim, Mr. Hornbaker. I mean, we know each other. We're not besties, but anyway. So like he goes through it, and he's talking. I mean, and Rick was a company man. He wanted to do what was best for. I mean, the dates and just the absolute dedication to wrestling that he gave. And I'm not saying I didn't realize that, but I don't really know. I mean, the schedule. I mean, what kind of dedication you had to have to be the champion, and what you were doing, and what he chose to do to be. And I think that's the reason why he's one of the number one if you talk about NWA champions, Ric Flair is going to be one of the number ones that come up, is because of all the different traveling and the different territories and everything that he did for that title. And I really think he did a great job just kind of chronologically documenting, his wrestling career. And yes, you are very right. He needs to remember who he is, and nobody, and I mean nobody, has not been touched, and I don't mean physically, by him that's been in the wrestling business. Like, there is something that wrestlers get to do now because of Ric Flair. Oh God, Andrew, no.
Admittedly.
Yes,
I mean,
yes, yeah.
that's not even.
And you had to be. I mean,
more dedicated to the business than he was to any of his ex-wives.
yeah. And there was only 2. Well, 3, 4.
He got a bunch.
Yeah, he does.
So Andrew's favorite wrestler is Ric Flair. Is that what I'm realizing?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
No.
We had there was a bad experience at Starcast.
Oh, okay.
It was rightly so.
Andrew,
he's more of a Bret Hart man.
I'm more of a Ric Flair apologist to that. That's just Rick being Rick. But I mean, basically, he was being the star that he is, but I know. I mean, I know, but some of it's just now we're villainizing him for the things that he's never denied that he was. That's you could even going back to Bruiser Brody, some of these dark side of the ring and everything. While a lot of us think that Bruiser Brody was great and intimidating and a hell of a performer and a monster in the ring and very believable, you're going to have a certain part of the audience that's going to think, well, Bruiser Brody was a bully and got what was coming to him. Because I've heard him say, well, Bruiser Brody was a bully. Mm-hmm. And he was, the guy that killed him, Bruiser Brody was brutal to him. But that's how things were back then.
True.
He didn't deserve to die over it.
No. Well,
I think that we can all agree that the wrestling business itself has matured a lot, and that's obviously a good thing. The schedule, like you were talking about with Rick, Amy, the schedule is not as grueling anymore. I mean, these guys are still on the road a lot, but it's not. You would hear the horror stories of, like, I was on the road for 300 days a year and saw my family 3 days, and stuff like that. Like there's a healthier work personal life balance, which is good, and the business itself seems to have matured a lot to where you're not having wrestlers stab each other in the shower.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
So if those guys had to crawl so that this generation could walk or run, then you know, I'm
Right.
glad that we can see the mistakes and the hardships that they had to go through, and that we're correcting it on this end. And maybe 10 years from now, or 20 years from now, however long, maybe these guys can get health insurance.
Yeah, I mean it's
really.
it's a different world. I mean those
Yeah, for
guys
sure.
weren't going back to the room and playing video games.
Right.
Those guys were going back to the room playing with women.
Right. Or playing with, yeah, I mean, but
Yeah, whatever they met in the bar.
whatever was there, yeah. But so, Derek, you may or may not know this, but I get to be real whiny if I don't get to go to bed on time.
Yeah. Hey, no,
Yeah, that's
I'm
why,
good.
Derek. That's why.
It truly is me because I mean, like Justin didn't have to, okay, so Justin and I both work in the school system, and I had to go back today, and he hasn't yet, and so he's been yawning and doing all kinds of stuff. You haven't been able to see it, but he's been yawning and stuff, and I'm like, I'm gonna fall asleep if we don't wrap up and I don't go to bed because going back to work sucked
Yeah,
today
it's
a
no
little
fun.
bit. It's nice though to be off. I'm never going to complain about that, but man, getting back into that rhythm, that was hard. That alarm, setting that alarm. I mean, you were working Sunday. Did you work Sunday?
No, or
What day did you work? And I text.
I went to work Saturday morning, but
Maybe it was
yeah,
Saturday.
but no, I was at work on New Year's Day.
Oh, maybe it was New Year's Day because I was like, oh,
Hey, Derek, one last question: do you collect any wrestling memorabilia?
oh,
So I've started getting back into action figures, the wrestling action figures. I'm probably going to start like doing the belts and like the ring worn stuff. I don't have anything as of yet, but it's always in the back of my head. Like if I've got a few moments, I'll look on like eBay or something to see if I can find something that's that I don't think that I would regret buying later on.
Yeah, now be
So
careful.
nothing yet, but
Be
I think it's
careful with
coming.
belts on eBay.
Oh yeah.
Tap into your tap. You got a lot of resources you can tap into about belts.
what's the
Yeah.
first belt? What are you looking at? What kind of belts are you looking at? Like, do you have a certain one you like? Like the winged eagle, or I mean, you have a favorite
Yeah, I
belt
mean
or
the
gold?
the winged eagle will always be my favorite belt, just because that was the first world title I ever knew as a kid. That's the one that Savage held, when I first got into the business and stuff. Um, but I mean, really, just any type of titles I think are would be interesting. Um, but also just like the ring worn stuff, I would like to do that. Also, um, I haven't done this yet, but I plan to. A buddy of mine ordered a pair of white wrestling boots, and he just has wrestlers sign those wrestling boots.
Uh huh.
And I was like, man, that's the smartest thing I've ever heard of. So I think I'm going to do that as well. Like just buy a pair of white wrestling boots, and then at all these different things I get to go to, just be like, hey, will you sign this for me? And then be
Cool.
It's a
able to
good
display
idea.
those. Yeah.
But
So,
now you may not be able to like Derek's wanting ring used belts, but you can go to big time belts and get you one that might be eventually used in the ring. Here's me holding my Mississippi championship. I'll walk around the house acting like a badass with it. Big Time Belts is providing quality belts for wrestling promotions all over the United States and the world. Battle Zone, BIW, SWA. They don't send their champions to the ring with toys with stickers on them. Big Time Belts provides them with high quality belts at low prices. PCW, the Pennsylvania Grand Champion, uses Big Time Belts. Look at if you're watching, you can see the AWA Tag Team titles, the Alabama Wrestling Association, Gulf Coast Diamond Championship Wrestling, the EPW Women's Division. Big Time Belts has got you covered. They can make your champion look like $1 million. How about a fantasy football belt instead of a trophy or trying to embarrass? You can get a belt for high school athletics. My granddaughter's softball team has a belt. how about your favorite sports team? One guy got the Vegas Golden Knights. I'd rather carry a disease, but that works for him. The Mississippi Seawolves working with GCW. You can have them. Big Time Belts on Facebook. And we'd like to thank Big Time Belts for sponsoring our show.
Thank you, Big Time Belts, and go Stars.
Yes, go Stars.
Well, guys, it's been a lot of fun.
I've enjoyed it. I'm so happy that you came on the show.
Yeah.
Please come back again. And
Absolutely.
Justin, why don't you take us home?
All right. Well, thank you, Derik, once again, the great Derik Zoo. I would go ahead and say his whole last name, but I don't want to embarrass Dave because I know he can't pronounce it correctly. But no, I can't either. Thank you, Derik Zoo, for being with us. Thank you, the great First Lady of the Arn Anderson Fan Club, Miss Amy Vaughn. Of course, Pondwater Dave and myself, Justin Davis, saying take care of yourself and each other. Happy holidays, everyone. So long, everybody.